What's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in today's video we are going to be discussing some nerfs that DICE need to be making to Battlefront 2. Now there are some pretty OP things in Battlefront 2 that range from heroes to vehicles to star cards to blasters to abilities. There's literally just about everything in the game in some form or another that could probably do with a nerf to help balance the game. Now as we all know, Battlefront 2 needs all the help it can get when it comes to balancing. With all this in mind, we can just hope if DICE do nerf any of these things that they don't nerf them into the ground like they have done before. Now you guys are absolutely smashing videos out of the park lately with comments, likes and all the good stuff, so I just want to extend out a massive thank you once again to each and every one of you for clicking on my videos and getting involved on the channel. It really does mean a great deal to me, and it just motivates the hell out of me to keep grinding, so once more a big thank you to all of you. But now if you are new around here, then absolutely feel free to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on, and remember to comment below any nerfs that you think need to happen in Battlefront 2. But with that out of the way, let's dive right into this, and getting into it, the first major nerf that I just need to bring up in this video is the vehicle damage against heroes. This is a pretty hot topic at the moment because it seems more now than ever players are going out of their way to chase heroes with vehicles. Now this obviously does not bode well for hero users and kill streakers, because you get your time with the hero come to an almost instant end because there is simply nothing you can do to defend yourself besides run away and hope for the best. You can easily be claimed with one ability or 2 or 3 primary fire shots from vehicles as a hero, and that is just not balanced. And like I said, more now than ever, people seem to be willing to go exclusively out of their way to chase down heroes and ignore infantry just to be annoying. You really don't have to look too far to see the hundreds of people calling for nerfs across the Battlefront subreddit or Twitter. So this of course includes starfighters strafing from the skies as well. All it takes is one of those pesky starfighter users in Galactic Assault to sit in a starfighter all game and just strafe run on heroes. It is pretty sad, but there are actually people that do that. And you can't take the toxicity out of people like that, so I think it's best DICE just answer the endless pleas from the community and just nerf damage against heroes when it comes to vehicles. In Capital Supremacy especially, it is kind of ridiculous that a 150 battle point stat can one-shot a hero. And there just simply seems to be next to nobody defending this, and there are a lot of people that play this game that will literally defend anything, so I think that speaks for itself really. So hopefully DICE listen to the community and nerf vehicle damage to heroes as soon as possible. But now on to the next nerf that we must see in Battlefront 2 is the Officer Battle Point nerf. So anyone who uses the Officer knows just how ridiculous the rate gaining battle points is for the Officer. You can start the match getting up to like 700 battle points, sometimes even more, literally just off of the spawn, putting you nearly a quarter of the way to a hero without even seeing an enemy. Now, I know this because, I used the Officer because it got to the point where I was sick of being, beaten to the hero by people using the Officer whilst I was rocking the Assault or like the Heavy or something like that. So I had the mentality of if you can't beat him, join him. But it's at the point now where the community has just had enough and players are calling for a nerf across all forms of social media. Much like the vehicle damage against heroes, you really don't have to look far to see countless posts of people complaining about the Officer battle point gain. Now some people want the SE-44C blaster to be nerfed for the Officer, and whilst it is a very good blaster, I don't think that necessarily needs a nerf. It's not as powerful as like the Blurg was back in the day or anything, so I think that can be left alone. Now if they are going to nerf anything, like I said, I don't think it should be the blasters or the abilities available to the Officer such as the Battle Command, but I think a nerf to the Bounty Hunter star card or something like that would go a long way. Officers really do not need to be nerfed into the ground, which is something DICE tend to do. Look at how Chewie turned out. They just need to do enough to make it so the officers aren't always the ones getting the hero first. All classes should gain battle points at the exact same rate, but abusing the Officer to get the hero in the first phase is something that has plagued Battlefront 2 for a very long time now. And now I think we're at the point where it's got to change. So I would really love to see a nerf to the Officer in the coming months. But now on to another nerf Battlefront 2 is in need of, and that is Obi-Wan's restrictive mind trick. Now this ability is really good, but I think given the fact that Obi-Wan is actually a really good hero now, it really highlights just how OP the ability actually is and just how much attention it probably should be getting from DICE. If you're hit with it, you are basically just a free kill, particularly when you are infantry. A lightsaber hero can at least block so they have something to defend themselves with, but blaster heroes on the other hand, they do not. They are literally just in prime position to be killed by Obi-Wan. They have no defense for the ability. I seriously think DICE need to add the ability to dodge if you're under the influence of the restrictive mind trick. You can with Rey's mind trick and it doesn't cause any issues, but with Obi-Wan's you lose all of your abilities and that's just kind of OP if you ask me. Now if DICE don't want to add the ability to dodge when you're caught by the mind trick, then they could always reduce the time you can be affected by the mind trick. I feel like if they do address this and nerf Obi-Wan's mind trick in some little way, Obi-Wan would probably be one of the most well-balanced heroes in Battlefront 2, and that is something we don't really say too often. Having said that, they still need to get rid of the glitch with his dash and it taking out enemy stamina. But another nerf that I believe we really need to be talking about is Boba Fett's rocket barrage. So we all know it's one of the better abilities in the game and Boba has a star card dedicated to hero damage with this ability. And I think it may have gone a little bit too far. It feels like this is an issue that a lot of us have just kind of been accepting for a long time, but with all the balancing issues that Battlefront 2 has, it seems like it's brought out all the pleas to DICE from fans just to nerf Boba's rocket barrage. Now I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't originally going to include this in the video, but on the Battlefront 2 subreddit, somebody did change my mind. He'd done some testing and Boba's rocket barrage can do 696 damage with one use. Now nobody can tell me that that is balanced. I have noticed especially lately that Boba has become more of a pest in Heroes vs Villains with the rocket barrage absolutely destroying your health in a single use. Now some people claim that his rocket barrage actually has a max damage output of 750 which can pretty much one-shot most of the heroes. So with that in mind, there was no way I could not have included this in the video. Now I know Boba is in some people's minds a one-trick pony and reliant on his rocket barrage, so they might not want it to be nerfed, but the ability to one-shot any hero with a single ability is way too much. So it needs to be nerfed from a damage output perspective. It's always going to one-shot infantry and that is totally fine, but as for heroes, I just can't support that. So I and many others hope to see a nerf to Boba's rocket barrage in the near future, and given the amount of people bringing it up now, I would not be surprised if it has already caught DICE's attention. But now lastly, I can't make a nerf video without touching on Anakin Skywalker or I would get absolutely murdered in the comments. So whilst I'm not really calling for an Anakin nerf in particular, I do want to discuss the real problem with Anakin and what DICE could potentially do. Now I'm not gonna lie, I think hating like hell on people using Anakin is kind of pathetic. You know, I have had comments on videos in the past where people have said, oh, you're using Anakin in that gameplay, dislike, and you know, stuff like that. Now, I really don't care in the slightest about dislikes anyway, but it's kind of sad that the hate people receive for wanting to use one of their favourite characters in Star Wars. I mean, after all, Anakin can be killed very easily. He isn't this unstoppable machine that everyone makes him out to be. If you aren't a total bot, you can take Anakin out quite easily, you just have to use your head. But anyway, I've probably gotten a little bit off topic there, but the real problem with Anakin isn't his damage output. That is fine and has been nerfed like hell already. And even if they do keep nerfing him with his damage output, he is still going to be a very good hero. The issue is his ability combinations and the fact he has a fourth ability. Anakin is always going to be a great hero whilst you can combine the pull dominance with the passionate strikes and or the heroic might. Now I've said this for a long time, what makes heroes good in Battlefront 2 is high damage, but what makes heroes great in Battlefront 2 is effective ability combinations. That's why heroes like Darth Vader are so damn good. So if they want to limit Anakin's effect, then maybe increase the refresh rate for his abilities or remove retribution. But as for a damage nerf, it isn't going to get us anywhere. So I think people need to relax when it comes to Anakin and call for the nerf in the right places or just leave him be. Anakin getting a nerf is quite divisive in the community, so do you think that Anakin should be nerfed or do you think he should be left alone? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I didn't choose to include things like Yoda's dash and block and, you know, Vader because either I felt like it didn't warrant a nerf or there are confirmed nerfs coming. So if any of you were wondering where those were, then there you go. Now guys, be sure to let me know in the comments below, like I said, what nerfs you think are needed for Battlefront 2. There are probably things you can pull from all corners of the game that could use some attention, so be sure to let me know. And it would be a massive favour to me guys if you would share this video around. It's videos like this that really can catch DICE's attention. So if we're out here talking about what really needs to be nerfed in Battlefront 2 and you share this around and I don't know, like Ben sees it or something, then it can really go a long way to improving Battlefront 2. But anyway guys, if you did go on to enjoy this video, then it would be greatly appreciated if you could leave a like, as it does help the channel out a great deal. And if you haven't subscribed already, then feel free to subscribe for more Battlefront 2 content. Now if you guys do want to see a buffs version of this video, then be sure to drop a like on the video. But that is pretty much going to do it for this video anyway guys, so thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all again real soon.